Guys, thank you for watching another episode of it. Thank you for
Yeah.
watching us and I to the show. Today we have Kamil Magomedov, a Dubai-based real estate broker and investment advisor. He specializes in helping global clients secure high-return property investments across rental, off-plan, and luxury real estate. With a background in investment management and city planning, he provides strategic, data-driven insights into the UAE market, acting as a trusted advisor to support informed decisions and long-term financial growth. Alongside being a CEO of an investment firm and also the advisor to the CEO of Forbes Russia and helping plan the city planning of a city within Russia's one of Russia's regions. What brought you to Dubai, Mr. Kamil?
Well, thank you for having me. It was the same thing that we witness all over the world right now. Some level of nonsense that you can't tolerate. So you choose places or people or companies where you fit more, where you can unpack like skills, knowledge you have, and benefit more from that. So doing the same things in different places have very different outcome. So doing more complicated things back in Russia had way less outcome than doing simple things here in Dubai. Because if you've been in investment field for many years, then advising people on where to invest in real estate sector is not that, difficult.
And when you say it's not that difficult, when people hear that, what does that mean? Like you're saying it's not difficult to be in the investment
I mean,
sector.
it's not it's not difficult to understand where are that 5, 10, or 20% of winning deals out of all the offers on the market. Today and every day we have around 200,000 properties where you can put your money in. But obviously not all of them will make money. Some of them are just houses. So you can buy and live there and be happy, but that's not real estate investment. That's house buying or home buying process. That's what people confuse. Not every property caters to the request of investors. So you need to identify where are that 10% that actually are built in gaps where there is less supply than actual demand for this specific real estate. So that's how I differentiate it. There are two processes. Realtors are good for home buying because they will speak the language of emotions, the language of comfort, how big are the kitchens, what are the colors, the views, all that stuff. But you can imagine if I speak that, it will look like very, very unnatural, So my language is numbers or returns, where we see the price to value gaps, etc. And honestly, I don't care a lot about the property itself because people who are investing in them and some of the clients who are for years with me, they don't even ask what kind of properties they are. They are buying units for the ratios. What will be the appreciation ratio, the rental ratios, what are the returns on equity. So that's the things that we identify in the market, and that's why I cannot work with all of the clients in the market. There is a niche where I do specialize and where my clients have very specific requests.
Okay. And so obviously this niche market, not everyone can maybe afford even the properties that you're selling or that you're talking about. So how exactly do you find these kind of clients?
They start with something like $550,000 and above, and there are many people in the market. This market is attracting residents of 89 different countries and nationalities.
Wow. Okay, what are the top nationalities would you say that are attracted to Dubai real estate?
The top buyers, they're changing quarter to quarter. So, but we can say that the top 10 will be pretty stable. It's British, European in general clients. Then we have Indians, Chinese investors, Russians, US, Canadian clients. So top 10 will be consisting of these nationalities changing positions based on how much volume they bought. But in general, there are 89 different nationalities and 199 nationalities living in Dubai. So people coming from that countries, they are, some of them are relocating to Dubai, so they might be looking for a home. And if someone comes to me and says that he's looking for a home, I might advise him one of my colleagues, because I'm not good at that, specific task. But if they're coming to make money and to invest into properties, that's where I have a bit more competence than someone who's been just doing real estate. So also when people talk about Dubai's crash, Dubai's market going down, etc., they don't understand that it's not comparable to any other market in the world, just because it's not a city real estate. If we talk about Dubai in a country that is enclosed, like for example, if we compare to Moscow, Russia, there are not many international investors, so it's tied to the investment capabilities of people living inside the country.
Okay.
So you can evaluate that market based on current situation in the country, how much liquidity is there, etc., appetite. You can't evaluate Dubai like that because, 89 different countries have very different current situation. And they're all investing into one. It's a global market. It's not connected to any specific country's economy. That's why whatever valuations you bring, they're wrong.
So when they say that we're in World War III right now and that the Gulf countries are affected, their economies and the real estate, is that, you think, just like a short-term thing that's going to turn over? Are you guys being affected at all right now?
For sure. I mean, there is an impact of these events. Unfortunately, UAE is experiencing the side effects of a war where it's not directly involved and never asked for that. And if you can find any positive things about it, or any relatively positive things about it, is for years we've been said that Dubai is a safe place, right? And that's the reason why many investors were attracted. Now we've experienced, Dubai experienced, COVID, floods, financial crisis. Now that thesis of being a safe place been, battle tested. A large scale military aggression. The biggest number of projectiles launched was against UAE out of Gulf countries, and the least impact was again in UAE. So again, it proves the thesis that the management, call it management team or leadership in the country, if that's the main ingredient for success of a country, then the team or leadership in this country showed that in this dimension also, UAE and Dubai, they're performing and showing the best results in the world. Nobody is intercepting more than 95% of projectiles out of all the Gulf countries, other countries around the globe, in many other conflicts. I can't compare because I've been living in Moscow when we had the same issues with the drones flying, attacking, buildings. Out of 40 drones launched overnight, 6 might reach the same building and hit it from different directions. So compare that to 2,000 projectiles launched, and just 2 or 3 of them reached the targets.
That's a very low percentage. So the defense systems are holding up, which is great news for the people of UAE.
So the test has been tested. Is it really a safe place? If there is war everywhere, everyone against everyone, then yes, it's been tested.
And for you personally, Kamil, and your family, how have your lives changed during this, these troubling times during this war?
When I came here, we've been. I just started from scratch. I've been on some high positions back in Russia, but I just dropped everything. I moved to UAE, and after that, I started figuring out what I'll be doing. And UAE and Emiratis in general, they were very generous, and what opportunities this country offers, they are matched for anyone who wants to create some value. So it's like in relations. When you come to someone's house, you stay there, you eat with them, you stay overnight, right?
Yeah.
and then someone or something bad happens. They get into a trouble, etc. Some people will get up and run out of the house, right?
Hmm.
Some will stay and say,
True.
okay, what's my where I can help or give a hand or whatever. Um, this country and this city consists of majority of population are expats, and all of them came to build the same thing as I'm doing, to build their future, to raise the family, right? So it's we building this place together with Emiratis and the leadership of the country. So you feel that um, it's something that belongs to you because you are contributing, your small portion to the direction where it's moving. So you don't abandon your friend, your partner, your future just because a couple of drones are flying around. And being
Yeah.
from Russia, you need something bigger, some bigger guns to fire to make people scary.
Fair point. When those drones first hit a hotel in Dubai, one of the first things that happened was that people were leaving negative comments on Google about the hotel itself. Did you get to see that? What's your reaction to that? Why do you think people had that kind of joking reaction to it?
Well, you know, let's take, for example, any country from which
Mm-hmm.
people are moving to Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
Take Moscow, take London, I don't know, take Delhi.
Right.
There are 10, 5, 10, whatever percentage of people, wealthy or those who can create value, or those who are brave enough to move to other country and build future there, right? And then, because of the age of internet, a lot of people who are inside the country might be jealous, might be wanting to build the same thing, but they don't have something, they don't have courage, resources, or competence that is demanded over there, right? So imagine that they've been watching these guys for 5 years, 6, 10 years, right? So that they're enjoying Dubai, building, companies, future businesses, and now the moment came, So imagine that all that people have their moment. Let
Mm-hmm.
them have fun. They need to express that. How is that now? How is Dubai now? Huh? Like, what do you feel? You said Dubai is a safe place. What about now? Let them practice express the jealousy. Another thing that I've seen is there is a strict correlation, like straight line between how many taxpayers a country lost to UAE, because the main resource that all countries are competing for now is the people who can create value, who can create businesses, raise economy, etc. So um, the country been losing that taxpayers, that people who create value to UAE for 3-4 years in a row. We all know
Yeah.
that, we've read that media, right? Even British officials, when they're coming here, they're saying they see more Brits here than back in London. So now there is a strict line and correlation between how negative media was during these events and how many taxpayers country lost. So because again,
Wow.
from country's perspective, that's the moment you should build a momentum on. You need to explain to your population that Dubai is not that good as you've been seeing from
Mm.
social media, from friends, whatever. You don't need to move there. It's so obvious, unfair what they're saying. So they're undermining their own efforts with overkilling. When somebody is typing that in Daily Mail or Financial Times that half of population already left, another half is booking tickets. Well, it's funny because you know anyone who has been passing by even Dubai, not living in Dubai, they know that uh, maybe 20% panicked and left, but everyone else, residents of Dubai, they're here, right? So um, just simply blunt lies, they don't work. Despite your hard efforts, they don't work. And executing that bad PR campaign, they're kind of overkilling, so it undermines trust in what they're saying. Or another guy, like, I don't, another British media, I don't remember the name, was like, Palm Jumeirah turned into fireball, like, and that was
What?
because of full Palm Jumeirah turned into fireball, according to these
Oh.
guys. Because we have one Dubai where people are living, and that I see,
Yeah.
and then there is another Dubai that I see in media. They never meet each other. So these guys were showing. There was one video of Fairmont, actually, where debris of an intercepted drone fell,
Yeah.
and that video was shot from 150 million different angles, and it was posted as all Palm Jumeirah is in the fireball. And then actually, where that place in Fairmont, it's a place where you have a kitchen of a restaurant, and as far as I know, it's a Brazilian restaurant, and the chef of restaurant was there in the kitchen. And when the debris fell and there was a loud noise and fire, and he was very angry, saying that they ruined my restaurant. What is happening? Like, these people are very emotional, and he was ready to catch a couple of drones with his bare hands. So he was that angry. But people think that the hotel was well. Actually, it fell near the entrance arc, so
Okay.
there was a $800 damage, because they needed to repaint it and to clean the debris, right? But if
That's
you look
it?
at the news,
Only
the hotel was
$800?
blown to the ground, fireworks everywhere, palm is burning, people running, and then there is people in trenches sitting with air defense systems, and tennis rockets, hitting back the drones. So that's a moment that the media, government-run media in the countries that are losing competition objectively to UAE, they've been building on for the last week too. But you cannot keep lying for long run, because
Right.
Of
eventually the
course.
mass of content that is coming from the ground will reveal your will reveal your lies, because whatever you have is just statements and loud headlines. You don't have proof from the ground. So then they switched to how economically bad, UAE is damaged, then this, then that, and now we're in a very interesting point that is coming to a question: what is next? What will happen to Dubai next, or to UAE next?
Yes.
It's not a problem of Gulf countries under military attack anymore. It's now about a full-scale energy crisis that will hit everyone, but the least impacted will be the Gulf countries.
Yeah.
And now we will check. Now we will check, and it's my true belief that the energy crisis will hit hard Asian markets, European markets, UK, and
Yeah.
when you will have energy lockdowns, rationalizing the consumption of electricity, of fuel, restrictions on travel, restrictions on how many hours per day you will be using electricity, people will start saying, I'd rather be under some drones' interceptions, loud noises in Dubai, rather than sitting here with no war, but still you are like in a stone age. Business is not running. Everyone is locked down like in COVID. And government is telling you when you can exit house, when you can go to work, or when you can travel. So we will see that coming inevitably, because the price for energy will not go down even if they finish the war tomorrow. Because in the price of barrel, a big cost is the insurance cost. And once you have a drone even falling next to a terminal, next to the ship, or having even high chances for that, insurance will not go back to previous numbers. So that war premium with the insurance companies will stay there, meaning that price per barrel will not go down $100, regardless what orange guys will do.
Yeah.
And you can lift sanctions here, lift sanctions there, dance around the world, but you had free passage and no insurance premiums and lower price per energy before. Now you
Okay.
came there, you created a problem. Now you have the same things, but higher price and with no targets achieved, right? So they're the most competent guys in the world right now in achieving negative growth.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Now
they grow the opposite side. So.
This is very crucial points that you're making about the energy crisis that we might be facing in the near future, because we all know that the main growth that's happening right now is the tech growth in the US, like when it comes to AI and anything that's related to AI. And the main thing that AI demands is energy. So
Water
if
too.
the
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and without that energy being provided, does that mean there's going to be also the AI bubble might burst? You know, the so-called AI bubble that everyone keeps talking about. If there it has no energy to supply it, is that is that what we're going to face?
Um, I don't think it will. Well, not my field of expertise, but I can talk about the efficiency of energy consumption. Of course, it's Gulf countries built enough infrastructure to produce a lot of energy. So it's
Okay.
one of the most rich regions in terms of energy production. You have no alternatives to it. I mean, uh, no alternatives in Europe. There are alternatives in Russia, but it's not the place where international investors are ready to go now. Uh, Venezuela, not a place at all currently. So you
Mm-hmm.
have one
Yeah.
of one choices. Where you get that amount of energy, you get it only here. There will be no cheap energy anymore for the great people in charge now in the US. So
Hmm.
inevitably, whoever is seriously considering AI infrastructure development, that they have no options. There will be higher cost of exported energy from this region than developing infrastructure here.
Mm.
Um, First point, and second point, you need a couple of things. You need cheap energy. You need appealing. Uh, 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 um, you need a country appealing to talents, let's say, because that AI development and that infrastructure needs highly paid people to move to the place.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that's why
Right.
we take out of consideration other places rich in energy. So, and then you need leadership that is agile and flexible and know what is common sense. So,
Yeah.
if you put these three things together, first choice will be UAE and Saudi Arabia. But
Hmm.
in terms of appeal to international talents and companies, etc., I'd argue that UAE is more appealing, more ready, let's say, for that
Okay.
inflow. Put on top of it ordinary people from other businesses and companies coming from European and Asian markets. We will see inflow of these people once there is any kind of agreement. So this problem consists of two parts: before agreement and after, because now it's an energy crisis issue. Right
Hmm.
after agreement is reached, any kind of, I'm not building any forecasts here, I'm not from that field, but once agreement is reached, we have a situation where energy here costs less, energy abroad costs more. Because of energy abroad, you will have twice or three times more people flowing in UAE or this region, and you will have, you say, bigger issue than after COVID, bigger issue with the number
Wow.
of people flowing in. Because if already now you have um, shortages in
Yeah.
Thailand, in Vietnam, etc. It's only what 3-4 weeks since energy is not passing the strait, right? What happens in
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
3 months, in 2 months? Uh, when you see that your business, even you are running a restaurant, your business is falling apart, you don't have electricity. What's the chances? You're either dying or you're moving, right? So anyone who can create any value, who has any kind of business or capital,
Yeah.
that will be the only choice, because there is no alternatives. Where else will you move?
Right. And just to back up your claim about how the Gulf countries will benefit from all this, Saudi Arabia, their original plans for building these major cities like Neom and all the mega projects that they have in mind was mainly fixated on the fact that the oil barrels pricing would reach, $100, which would obviously fund their budgeting for all of these major plans. So if oil does reach that pricing and it stays at that pricing, then the budgets for the government to continue building their major projects, like because you also have the Expo 2030 and all other mega projects that they're putting pause on right now, they could continue them and then continue pushing also uh, just more construction, more real estate, uh, new businesses can start operating. So that definitely looks like where it's going as well.
Um, my humble opinion is that, because I've been on public sector, I've been in charge of building, let's say, big projects like cities.
Hmm.
The problem with the large scale developments in Saudi Arabia was never about the money.
Okay.
The, the problem is, it's like with the company. If tomorrow I come to healthcare industry with a great track record in real estate, and I say
Yeah.
that I'm launching a $1 billion investment heavy company, without a team, without a track record for delivering, any small hospital, without any other basis, there are zero chances that I will succeed.
Hmm.
So what we see in UAE today around took more than 30 years, step by step, developing and expanding the competence and the team. The core of success is the team. It's not money, it's not the idea. There are many bad ideas that were actually executed here. I mean, but they worked, you know.
Yeah.
So execution and the team that can execute is more valuable than any amount of money.
Hmm.
So when you start simultaneously 10, 15 projects, each of them never seen before in humankind history, and you have no track record of even building one small modern city, let's say, there is no
Yeah.
team that, despite the ambition and the will, let's say, of really doing that, despite that will in leadership, you have no people backing that and who can build that.
So what
Um,
they have in money, they lack in experience. That's their main issue in Saudi Arabia, and that's
Experienced team, yeah, and I would say a team in the government and in private sector that can together build things.
in the private sector. I would personally disagree because you have also international companies that are providing their expertise. They're coming in to support, either through consultation or through building their projects themselves. The contracts, are being taken by some contractors that have been in the field for over 30 years, 50 years.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the international companies, right? But my point
right.
was that you need private and
Local
public
companies.
sector that worked together on government's objectives. Let's say take for example Burj Khalifa.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
kind of private company, MR, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But that it is aligned with the government's objective for this particular project. So
Hmm.
contractors that come all over the world to do some work in Saudi Arabia are not really committed into success. Is it successful or not? They get paid, right?
True.
You need local companies doing international business. You need to grow them, that
Yeah.
are not going anywhere, that are supporting the government's agenda. You can bring international companies, do joint ventures with local people, and make them these beneficiaries inside the country of a
Yeah.
successful project. Contractors, regardless of success, they get paid, or consultants, so that's another mistake. You cannot rely in big projects on if all the people are coming for a paycheck.
Um, yes and no, because the thing is, if they aren't successful, then they will not be able to take on future projects because their the success rate that they have because obviously Saudi Arabia is much bigger than UAE, so it has way more surface area, land to work on, and also maybe even a bigger budget. I'm not sure about the numbers. So if an international company doesn't do well in the beginning, they risk losing potentially future projects, which basically everyone wants in Saudi Arabia, because there are constantly projects coming up, even if it's not all mega
Let's take
projects. There are
let's
still
take a small
large projects
example.
happening. Okay, yeah,
If you are building a hotel, you're an
yes,
international company. Why you are in Saudi Arabia? To make profits, right? And to work
Mm-hmm.
for future contracts.
right.
What if the hotel that you are building for because of the mistake on government's execution side, because government and private sector here working together, maybe there was a mistake in master plan or in energy consumption calculations, etc. So you need to take losses to redo your project, or let's say, you need to, from initial plan, you need to divert,
Hmm.
take losses just to for the sake of a bigger goal that government has, and it was not your fault, it was government's fault. What you
Okay,
are doing, are you going to pay from your pocket for their mistakes because they are inexperienced? It's just a theoretical example, right? You
of
never
course,
do that. And in current world, 1, 2, or even 3 years is a very long horizon currently. You
Mm-hmm.
never know what happens, right? So after
true.
COVID, this long-term horizon vanished. No one is betting anything 1 year, further. So what I'm saying, that you need internal businesses inside the country that will be supporting government agenda. It means the people who can take losses but still favor bigger picture goals to their current profits. No
Hmm.
international company will do that.
Wow.
I understand. Yeah, I understand what you mean. It's the experience still needs to be built up for sure, and I think that's why I think what Saudi Arabia is doing is having these expats and international companies come in to help, but not only for the sake of doing the contract for itself. Because if if you see on the projects, there's always a Saudi member or a representative always around. Why is that? Because they have this concept of Saudiization
Mm.
here, where they're planning on like employing more Saudi members, because obviously everyone
Right,
knows that there's a quota that for each company has to have for Saudi members. So
right,
whenever you do that, you're also training the locals to eventually take these positions. Yes,
correct,
not as experienced as what's happening in the UAE. I agree, and there's definitely going to be a lot of mistakes, but that's just the learning curve, which
correct.
I think
So
sets them up in the next 10 years in a good way.
to just to sum it up, I really like the direction and the ambition that Saudi Arabia took as a country.
Yeah,
I think the stretch was that they launched a lot of initiatives simultaneously in a
Mm-hmm.
very short time frame, like to accomplish everything till
true.
2030.
Yeah,
Because what I see is the presentations of projects were done earlier than actual evaluations of projects, right? So because they were
yeah,
in a rush, in a hurry, I think that was the core mistake, but not the intent, not the people, not the potential. So they have all that. I mean, but they were trying to accomplish it too fast, and they were trying to skip the stages, the ladders, jumping. So
that's true.
you can't
Fast track.
you can't sit in a circle, 9 women, pay them and make them give birth to a child in 1 month.
Yeah.
Still, they need 9 months.
Okay, you got your
The
point
first time I
across.
hear
We got
that
it.
analogy, it's a good one.
We got it. Nice. Well, I wanted to pivot a bit and ask you about your media ventures, Kamil. You're doing a YouTube channel and you're doing videos and podcasts. Why are all these so important for your business?
Um, well, I don't know. you know, for some reason, people are watching that. I'm not even aware why.
Mhm. You do it for
um,
fun, or what's your logic behind it?
well, it all started with, I'm pretty lazy guy, so I didn't want to explain the same things 10 times per day when
Ah, I
I'm
see.
having conversations with clients. So I started doing videos and saying, "Well, this is the link. If you want my answer to the question, here's the link." So, and then people who don't know me or didn't contact before, they started watching that. Seems that they see some sense over there, and then they come to the business with you. So if life becomes easier, then why not? And you can imagine how hard it is for me, or how hard it was for me, because being someone that you know been in minister, public service guy, then been in investment field. That's completely the opposite profile to someone who is fluent with Instagram and YouTube and all
Right.
this stuff.
Hmm.
So if you want to play the game, you should follow the rules. The rules now are that whoever gets media attention, he gets the business. So if you need to learn new tricks, so you have to follow the frame.
So, and does this also help you tap into potentially a new audience for your business as well, for like real estate, property development, or?
Yeah, sure. That's the main channels where the clients are coming from, and as I said before, that it was cold calls, meetings with people, networking.
Mhm.
Then the era of social media came, and your 2 hours that you can dedicate meeting or going to an event and networking can be invested into doing one piece of content, and then you will have tens of thousands of people who've seen you, right? Out of them, you have higher conversion rate into people who want to do business with you, compared to that networking event where you spend these 2 hours, got two people who want to have a coffee, and then it turns out that they just want to have a coffee and the business.
So for anyone who is trying to get into real estate, they definitely have to double down on social media.
um, it's not about social media, it's about the message, like what you're trying to say, to tell, to deliver. uh, Whoever out of my colleagues are asking for any kind of advice, I'm always saying,
Hmm.
real estate field has has very many dimensions, like what you are best at, what you can offer or bring to the table. If you are the best guy who knows, all international schools and the best areas around them where to live, and share that knowledge with international expats relocating to Dubai with the families and kids, if that's the area where you are the best, then that's what you can deliver as a message in social media. If you came and said that I can do this, I can do that, I can do the third thing, then you are not good at anything. So you have nothing to deliver in social media. You can be entertaining people, dancing, the stupid videos, etc. That attracts viewers, but that doesn't attract buyers or those who want to do business.
Mm.
So it has to be provide some sort of value that is depending on what you're looking for, obviously on social media, educational or business wise. Um,
There is a book called Unfair Advantage, and the essence is about finding what you have, something that others don't. Let's say
okay.
if the client is looking for investment advice, and there are two people, let's say me and someone who just joined the real estate market, and he was a doctor before, or he was coming from engineering, or he was gym trainer before, right? I respect all professions, but they are not relevant for investing money. So I have an unfair advantage with my background, right?
Right.
But If someone is coming from UK, a billionaire, a young guy, a tech guy, crypto guy, whatever, he wants to buy a penthouse for himself to have parties, and he wants to see all the offers on the market. A young lady that specializes in that kind of homes and has stock on the secondary market will outperform me regardless of how hard I try. So everyone has his own unfair advantage. So that's why you need to find it and then build on that. Not trying to compete. Let's say if tomorrow I start competing in ballet dancing, it will be a PT show, right? When I look at all these young guys coming straight from university or any irrelevant fields to real estate and calling themselves investment advisors, I see them as ballet dancers. Because sorry to ask, but 3 questions only. We start with the first one. What's your relevant background in managing people's money, in investing anything, so that just to understand the quality of advice you are giving? If you
Yeah.
don't have that, then it's just me putting on white coat, going to hospital and start writing prescriptions for cardiovascular diseases. I have glasses, okay? I have a white coat. I look like a doctor. I call myself a doctor, okay? Now I start writing prescriptions. If someone dies, it's not because of me. It's just, things happen. So, but if someone's money dies in a bad project, for me, it's the same kind of tragedy, right? Because it happened because of someone's unqualified advice. But people don't understand that difference, and they think they are in moral rights to come and give investment advice to people where to put their hard-earned money, $500,000, 1 million, 2 million, without taking any responsibility. If they were obliged to have financial advisor's license and have penalties for that, I think there will be very few people who even talk about investments. Everyone will start talking about homes, colors, layouts, etc. But now we are having this situation, so anyone can join tomorrow and start advising you on investments. So be careful if you are looking for an advice. Always ask, what's the quality of that advice? Where it's come from?
I mean, that's great advice, Mr. Kamil. I think this is a good place to end the podcast.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much for coming on to the pod. Thank you so much for sharing all of your insight. Where can people find you? Where can people contact you? And where can people do business with you?
As you said, I'm doing a lot of videos for YouTube, for
Yes.
Instagram, and there are always my contacts, and that's where I'm usually half of the day at least.
Okay. And we'll definitely be linking them in the bio, and we'll be collaborating with you on the different channels. So
Thank you.
thank you again. Guys, thank you for watching another episode of A to the Show. See you next time. Peace.
We're out.
Thank you.
Peace. Thanks,